I dropped about 25 pounds while my boyfriend was gone for deployment and now he thinks I'm cheating on him. During COVID I let myself go pretty badly. I used to diet and exercise constantly. But I started going from regularly exercising to once a week and eating whatever I pleased. My boyfriend was gone for deployment, 6 months, and in the beginning I was pretty bummed out that we would be apart for a while. Although I decided to get back on my routine and lose some weight. I figure it would be a nice surprise as well. I lost about 25 pounds. I went from 140 pounds to now 115 pounds. I feel great right now. I even have a little bit of abs. Energetic, more confident, and healthier. I changed my hair and added on a few piercings and tattoos. When my boyfriend came back, he did a double take of me and I felt pretty proud that he almost didn't recognize me. He looked super shocked. I told him I tried my best to lose some weight and get back to a healthy routine. First thing he says is that my body type is the same, it isn't too impressive. I know I shouldn't be fishing for validation, but I was hoping for some positive feedback. I felt really upset. About a week goes by and I've noticed that he subtly checks my phone a lot. He asks me where I'm going, usually either to work or the gym. He finally snapped one day saying who I lost all that weight for. I'm like, myself? He thinks I'm bullshitting him and that I'm cheating on him. When in fact I'm not at all. IDK he's become very different since he's come back and I'm not sure how to deal with it. Too long did not read. While my boyfriend was gone for deployment I lost about 25 pounds. I've changed up the way I look and I now have a healthy routine for myself. My boyfriend for some reason thinks I'm cheating on him because of it. I'm not sure how to deal with this situation. I know a lot of military spouses. SOs cheat on their husbands, boyfriend whenever they're gone for TDYs, deployments, so I'm trying to be understanding of his feelings. But it fucking sucks. As someone who lost half of his body weight over the years, congrats and keep up the routine. I have just returned from military service. In my country it is mandatory. And I have to tell you, see people getting cheated on and learning it while serving. This scares you and makes you paranoid. I have seen the effects of it. What your boyfriend is doing is acting on fear. I don't know if he is reflecting or not, but if he stayed loyal to you that means he is scared to lose you. My advice, straight up talk to him. Not to fight but to learn. Don't accuse him of anything. If he can talk like a person, that's good. If he goes into defensive mode, something fishy. My ex-wife accused me of cheating when I lost 30 pounds. Turns out she was the one cheating. Time to sit him down and have the, if you keep accusing me of things I haven't done, we're not going to continue this relationship, talk. I'll be the odd person out and not agree with the idea that he's somehow cheating on you and projecting all of this onto you. I think it's more that he's genuinely in shock. You haven't just lost weight. You changed your hair, got a few tattoos, and some piercings. Those are all pretty big things to do just on their own, let alone together combined with weight loss. It's the idea of changing yourself for someone else since you never looked like that before. I mean, did you never talk during the 6 months he was gone? Did you never mention that you were eating better, etc.? I don't know if you had tats or piercings before. If you didn't, I'm sure those came as a shock, too. Just do something crazy and talk to him about it. Former military wife here. When my former husband would be deployed, I cannot tell you how many of the other wives would cheat their asses off. It wasn't just normal. It was a regular way of life both on and off base. I wouldn't even hang out with the other wives because of it, so it made deployments pretty lonely since we were stationed away from home. This is something talked about a lot between the troops while on deployment. Those of us who don't cheat are damn near unicorns. So, understand that he is acting from a place of fear and things being drilled into his head while he is away. I would talk very openly to him about this, and ask him how the two of you work together to create trust. It can be done, it just takes open and honest communication. First thing he says is that my body type is the same, it isn't too impressive. And #X200B. This raises a red flag to me. He knows you look great and feels threatened that you might deserve better than him now, so he tries to undermine your self-worth. Sounds like he is putting his own actions on you. I would suggest having a sit down and asking face to face what all this is about. It's one thing to have that thought as a possibility in the back of his head, it's another to just come out and accuse you with no proof. 24F. Need outside help concerning my friends. 28F. Feelings about me making out with my boyfriend. 24M. Throwaway account. Cross post. So Saturday night our usual group went to a club for Halloween. This group consists of me and my boyfriend, 24 male, and our two friends, D, 24M, and J, 28F. There has been a significant amount of drama in this group, to be perfectly honest. But to set the scene of this night, it's a Halloween celebration at a club. We arrived drunk already. My boyfriend and I are in a good spot, and at the beginning on the night kissed with tongue. Literally only for 2 seconds. To which Jay responded with, "Ew, gross," like yeah, you're right, maybe not do that while we are sitting at a table together. Reasonable. Fast forward to a few hours later, we are all very drunk. My boyfriend and I are behind them and are dancing and kiss again with tongue for a bit longer. I want to specify there is no groping or anything overly disgusting for a drunk night at the club. But this is enough to send Jay over the edge, who disappears to cry in their car for about 45 minutes. While they disappeared, I was completely oblivious it was because of that. Jay comes back and confronts me, saying they are uncomfortable with PDA and asks me to stop and enforces they have told me several times about it. I only remembered the "ew gross" comment. Honestly, I am sympathetic and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was doing this and I thought your earlier comment was teasing. I respect your feelings and will stop for the night." This was not enough for them, I guess. Instead of dropping it, they continued to escalate the situation. I felt berated as they were shaming me for doing this, so after a couple minutes of hearing this I said, "Well, actually I can do whatever I want, and if it's an issue, look away." Did no go over well. They disappeared again and we ended up leaving. I then received texts explaining their position, but these explanations became a guilt trip and in my opinion only intended to make me feel bad about this. I guess I want some thoughts about this. Was I in the wrong? Should I apologize for this again? In all honesty, I think making out with my boyfriend in the back of the club while hammered is really not this big a deal. Too long did not read. My friend had an issue with me drunkenly making out with my boyfriend at the club and I don't know how to feel or what to do. Edit. I really appreciate all of the comments and thinking about it more I agree with the jealousy response. There's a lot of context I wish I could fully explore, but with that context and everyone's input it feels exactly right. I don't think this friendship will be continuing after this. No one cries in their car for 45 minutes because they're disgusted by your PDA. Jay has feelings for you or your boyfriend and can't deal. No mate, there's something else going on. It's just more group drama that has nothing intrinsic to do with you. Jay has issues, crying for 3/4 of an hour because her friend kissed their own boyfriend at a club. Isn't remotely normal or healthy. I don't know what D's angle is with white knighting her, but Jay needs to stop and see an actual therapist. She cried in her car for 45 minutes because she saw a couple she is friends with kissing? Does that sound like the behavior of someone who is in the right about anything? Either Jay is in love you or your boyfriend. This screams jealousy. If she has a problem with PDA, she shouldn't go to clubs first off. Secondly, she shouldn't hang around couples, and thirdly, she should simply just look away. You're allowed to make out in public, especially at a club when you're drunk the fuck? And now she's guilt-tripping you. NGL sounds like a shitty friend, or maybe she's jealous of you too. Make out harder and lick his face. Assert dominance. This is ridiculous. Literally everyone makes out at the club. The request at the table together was understandable, but beyond that, kissing in the club while dancing was completely fine. Jay isn't your friend. Cut her off. My BF's brother are mean to me. Whenever I, 16F, go over to my boyfriend's, 16M, relatives, his brothers, 14M and 18M, always make fun of me, call me names and also tease me about my relationship. At my BF's birthday lunch they kicked my leg and I moved, but later they kept making fun of my voice and appearance. My BF's mum made the older brother apologize on a later date. They said, "I'm sorry for calling you a fatso," even though they never said that. Skeptical smiley face. Recently I went over for a barbecue and the older brother kept referring to me as woman, and later on he said something along the lines of because I was female I was less than and that my opinion didn't matter. I don't like either of the brothers as they say openly racist things, like they're glad the Holocaust happened or do the Nazi salute and even say the N-word and many other slurs. Although my BF's parents try to stop by telling them off and saying I'm not a woman, and that I have a name, they don't really stop for a while. I no longer feel safe going over to my boyfriend or his relative's place. What do I do? Don't go over there. Don't go over there. I can't imagine letting someone treat guests in my home this way. I'd be whooping some asses if these were my kids. I would never go over there again. Then stop going, and why is that it's your BF's mom that protects you from this? Have you spoken with your boyfriend about this? It seems like the person doing the most to protect you is the mom. It's the older brother. He's jealous. You may need to get angry in front of their parents for it to really sink in that what he is doing is abusive, and he needs to stop. He is misogynistic. He is a bully. He's teaching the youngest to do the same. And also, stop going over there. When the parents ask why you don't come over, your boyfriend needs to be 100% honest or things will never change. You are not obligated to go over to your BF's house if you are going to be abused while you're there. Is there any reason your boyfriend hasn't done anything about this? The older one is jealous that his younger brother has a girlfriend while he wanks his sorrow into a drain pipe, and yearns for feminine attention and affection. He coerces the youngest to act like him, and the youngest does because monkey see monkey do. As a psychologist, I can tell you it all stems from the oldest of the three being a jealous and sad lil twat. You are 16. Find a new boyfriend if this one is such crap he doesn't stop his brothers from being mean to you. How can I, 18F, make my boyfriend, 18M, lose NNN? I'm going crazy. I'm posting this here because I feel uncomfortable posting in the sex subreddit after being insulted for something reasonable. He and his friends are doing a joke competition where they leave a group chat if they lose No Nut November and the winner wins money. The issue is we haven't had sex in a week because he's been busy and I'm not gonna last a month. I need it so bad. How can I make him want me so bad that he can't resist? Edit. Forgot to say that he told me I should do it. It's like an intimate, kink, thing or whatever you'd call it. Dude, we're like 3 days into November LMAO. He can't nut but he can go down on you. Tell him 'bout no puss December. Just respect he doesn't want sex like he should respect it the other way around. Just take care of yourself in front of him. Counter with nude November. No clothes when you're home alone. It's over when somebody wins, right? Knock everybody else out of the contest. Call his friend *s girlfriends and make sure they lose first.